Hello. Hopefully this works. It's being weird and not letting me actually hear this time, so I want to make sure that is the case. If you can hear me, type in the chat. I don't know why this is always so complicated. That's supposed to be headphones. What the hell? Why isn't it letting me access anything? Alright. Okay, it looks like the mic's working, which is good. It's just not letting me hear it in the headphones like it was before. For no apparent reason. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, maybe because I unplugged them. This one? Does that one work? Sorry. There's always stuff. Stupid technology. Second output. Can I hear it now? Nope. Huh. Well, that might not work. Speakers, nope. Nope. Alright. I can't hear what you guys can hear like I did last time, which I thought I was so smart. Oh well. Alright, good morning. Hi, welcome. Nice to see you. I will go poke at the chat. Not glitching, which is good. I have a hard-lined, fairly fast internet connection, so it should be okay. There were some issues with Lynn Castle's Caldwell's stream yesterday, and she was trying, my face is giant on Instagram, oh my goodness. She was trying to get everything set up and talk about oil painting, and I guess her hardline connection isn't very good, and it was good for some people and not good for other people, and so it was challenging, but because it was good for some people, the recording should be fine, so I think she'd recorded it and posted it, so if you want to find out about that, either message Lynn or go to her page and check that out. If you are joining us from Instagram, my face is like the whole size of the screen. And if you want to see all the things that are going on, you're better off to be on Facebook or YouTube. Unfortunately, there's not a way I can fix it to work on all of them. And yeah, so it's a thing. But anyway, hi! If you are on Instagram, the link is in the bio for YouTube and for Facebook. So it might be a little bit easier. Because then there's like, so you can see like this, and there's at least, you're only getting to see like a third of everything that's going on, because there's 2/3, one on either side of me. I'm going to try and read the comments without glasses. We'll see how that goes. Katie's here. Hi, Katie. Aiden's here. Good morning. Aiden was the first one in. We have Ellen. Good morning. Amy. Good morning. Haley. Good morning. Oh, good evening from Sweden. Yes, sorry. Ellen's all the way from Sweden. That's a long way to go. We have Julie on YouTube and Holly on YouTube. Good morning to both of you. Laura Rocksmith is here. Maddie is here. Hi, Maddie. She says good morning. It's really weird not being able to hear after I could hear last time. It's like, the audio isn't working because I can't hear it. I'm going to have to play around with that and get it working consistently, because it's technology and it doesn't work consistently. Brenda, good morning. I might have previewed in the opening that there might be a peek of what I'm working on for Pone-Fest. So, well, one of the things I was working on was just in the fridge. It was in the fridge overnight to kind of chill. With most epoxies and different kinds of clay, if you put them in the fridge or the freezer, it'll either delay setting in the case of epoxy, which is awesome, or harden things up. It kind of does both for epoxy technically. So there was a pony in the fridge. Sometimes there's a pony in the freezer, and it's kind of awesome. There are currently 2 sculptures in progress, full horses for BreyerFest. There is a traditional sculpture that is performance friendly and performance oriented, and I'm working with a couple of tack makers now on getting that all set up to make sure it'll work for you guys if you are a performance shower. I can see currently 3 versions of my face, and it's freaking me out. There's one there, and one there. It's crazy. There's the live feed, so I can see what's actually happening real time. There's the delayed feed through Restream, and then there's the really delayed, as I can see it, through Instagram to monitor for comments. So, we've got, and then there's a Venti original sculpture, and these are all new sculptures. They're not versions of things that I've done in the past, so that's exciting. And the one that I'm working on in Venti is a little bit more fantastical, so I'm excited. All right, we have people commenting on things. That stream was so much fun. Very interesting. What is a very interesting comment from Laura Rucksmith? Replying to Aiden. I can't see it. Oh, that stream was so much fun. And I can't see another one. I have no idea. All right. Zoya, good morning. Or probably later for you. Good night. Ugh. Instagram's like, I pooped the bed. And for proof that Instagram hates my life, it's like, I'm frozen. Look at my face. It's frozen. Ugh. I really try. Just so you guys know, I make a really honest attempt to try and make it work without technological problems on all the platforms, and okay. I even didn't do the preview part for like the preview event thing, because I know it's easier for people on YouTube and Facebook, but Instagram, it apparently glitches the crap out of it, and then it just doesn't work. So this time it worked, but it only worked so much. I love my face. I'm like, what the hell? Why is it not working? So yeah, we have ponies. There's at least one new character that's been developed for the ponies, and it's really fun. It almost made it into last year, but didn't quite. Maddie's like, I don't know which one you're talking about. So that'll be cool. There is an evolution that's already planned. We like evolutions. And I have lots of fun stuff. I actually have some swag that you guys didn't get as an option for last year. So I have a whole bunch of hollow bags from last year. Last year's Pone-Fest. Plus I did pancake ones. And these are epic. They're like super... It actually matches my background. They are one-sided. And they're see-through. Like a see-through vinyl. They're great for anything where you don't mind people seeing what's in your bag. So, if you want to take it swimming because it's waterproof, all sorts of good stuff. So this will be a design that wasn't available last time that will be available this time. I have ponies or versions of all of them from last time, and I stocked up on a few of each of those. So I'll probably load that, and I probably won't reorder those characters. So that means whatever I have is what there will be. For next year. So there's swag preview. I am working with Instagram still. It's allowing comments and people to join, but my face is permanently frozen. I apologize. I'm just gonna close that because that's just gonna make me mad. All right. Sleep, iPad. I have sticker designs. I'm about to send the sticker design out for the Medallion Club People's Choice box. And the medallion is hopefully going into mold goo this week, which would be really exciting. That means I'm ahead of schedule, which never freaking happens. And I think you guys are going to really like that. The suggestions that came in were really good. I will be potentially using more of those suggestions for later, which is exciting. And hopefully getting even more ahead. I'd like to do that. So there's that. I have, I'm in chats with another washi tape manufacturer. So hopefully that works out. And they're also, and I'm also, they do stickers and other stuff. And then there's another place that I'm working with to do the sticker books. I love sticker books. So they'll look something like the one that I had before. And I have no freaking idea where it went. There's also the potential I might have notebooks, because I love notebooks, and notebooks with ponies on top. It's exciting. Maddie's like, do it, do the thing. I have, there's like 3 right there within arm's reach. I really like yeah. So I'll see. I don't know through this manufacturer if there is options for blank pages to do it kind of sketchbooky or Bujo style where it has the bullet points, or if they're just lined. I'm gonna have to look into it a little bit more. I kind of got excited and then yeah, but they do fully printed covers, so that means that there would be artwork all over it, and then there's stickers. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, swag. I'm going to probably do a realistic version of a lanyard as well. Something maybe with horse colors or sketchy horse designs on it. I think that would be fun. My brain wants to do like Appaloosa. I have no idea how it's going to work. It's just like Appaloosa spots. So that's exciting. I'm going to take a peek. Yeah, the oils workshop with Lynn was so cool. There was so much information in there. She covered a lot of really good basics. She talked a little bit about how she does her underpainting, particularly for medallions. She does like a really, my brain's like, I can't remember the exact word for the thing. Yes. Anyway, underpainting, and it's usually a monotone type underpainting, and then that allows you to plan your highlights and your shadow, and then you paint washes over top, which is really cool. So that was really, really neat. She had lots of really good stuff to say, and thank you, Julie. I'm glad that the YouTube's working, which is kind of nice. So yeah, that was really good. I would definitely check it out. I'm pretty sure it was recorded and posted either through Lynn Castle Caldwell's personal page, or I think it was through her studio page, which is Snowdrift Studios. So check that out. Looking to do a whole bunch more stickers for Pone-Fest swag and potentially more of the little acrylic items, so either pins. I'm not sure if I'll get organized to do the enamel pins, just because that's a new manufacturer, new process, and that's adding complexity to my brain to try and get all this stuff done. And at the same time, I still need to get biters and other stuff out, so I have to keep it moderate. There is requirement for breaks for my artist brain to do other things or it's going to explode. Speaking of biters, we should be shipping the last of Komodo Dragon today. I pretty much have all those ready to go. There might be 1 or 2 stragglers that ship tomorrow, but yeah, we're done Komodos. So if you're in the lobster batch, rock lobster, then you will get an email probably today to start confirming addresses. And then we'll be on to Megalodon, and then Nile crocodile, opossum, piranha, queen snapper, raving rabbit, shark, Tasmanian devil, unagi eel, and then our velociraptors wrap it up and we're done. Yeehaw! So working on it. That'll be really exciting. I'm excited to get more of those out. For scuttles, let me just check here. We just shipped all the froglets. We are working on the goatlings, and then it will be hatchlings, and then iguanalings, joeys, kittens, lambs. They're so cute. I'm like fluffing on the inside with all the cute names. Mooselings, Nigerian goatlings, owlets, pups, and I think there'll be a batch after that as time payments, potentially 2 batches after that, after time payments start to trickle in. Some of them have already, and I'm slipping them in where I can, because sometimes people don't pay in time and things move around, or they want to move around, so it works out. I love it. All right. I will do the peak kind of at the end, because yes. Yes.
How long have you been painting in oils?
I started painting in oils when Twyla taught me.
I have 2 of those.
Holy night. What have I been doing customization for like 20 years, so like 19 years, 18 years. I have, those are acrylics, but those are my oils. So there's a very large selection of them. Also Fire Hearts, Juggernaut, Hawks, and not me in the frame, which is awesome. So lots and lots of oils. I've started painting when Twyla taught me like ages ago. So 19-ish years ago. God, time flies. Let me fix the camera. So, and I kind of have a little bit, well, I don't know. So Lynn is in a oil painting, glazing society in Ontario where she lives. So she's done a lot more of the more traditional learning about oils. All my oil learning was through Twyla, who's a local hobbyist, and kind of on the fly, playing around, YouTube tutorials, buying things and being like, what does this do? And so I have a whole bunch of things that I really like. Technically, you don't need that many. Technically, you're supposed to have less colors and you're supposed to mix them yourself. So you should only really need red, yellow, blue, white, and you can mix black, so you don't even need black. I like having a whole bunch of tubes of paint, so they're all the pretty colors. You wouldn't obviously be able to have metallics and interference in there, so that throws a kink into the whole mix. So those people that are the purists that only mix from red, yellow, and blue, you don't have metallics and pearls or interference. How do you live? But you can also mix pigments into your oil paints to do the interference thing and to do the pearl. So technically you could do other things, which is kind of fun. You can mix Perlex into your oil paints to add an extra wow factor. And that's just dump it in, mix it up, do your thing. Technically, if you had like the proper grinder, you could grind it into the paint to evenly disperse it, but it works doing it with a palette knife or whatever. And oils are really fun. They do take a long time to dry, so having patience is kind of nice. And happy NaMoPyMo for everybody painting. Like, we're talking a lot about painting because it's NaMoPyMo. Didn't say happy NaMoPyMo. Or painting party, whatever you want to call it. It originated through Jennifer Buxton, and she's done a lot of really cool stuff with it. It's kind of become its own beast, which is super fun, and probably one of the most positive aspects of the hobby that we've had. I think it inspires a lot of people to get brave enough to start customizing and painting things and step out of their box. There's tons of awesome encouragement. The main group is on Facebook, so that's pretty exciting. I'm just gonna kill Instagram entirely in case they're sitting there being like, why is this frozen? Cool. I killed Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. I'll hide your body later. I'll customize your body later. So yeah, NaMoPyMo goes for the whole month of February. It is not official. You have to sign up. You win prizes this year, which is actually kind of nice. Lower pressure is kind of nice. So anybody can sign up unofficially through the NaMoPyMo page on Facebook, and it's NA for National, PAI for painting? No. Yeah. National Month of Painting something. You'll figure it out. NaMoPy, PAI, Mo. Yeah. Self-explanatory. Not really. I should type it on the screen. That would make more sense. Hold on 1 second. I will do that, and then people can look it up if they want to look it up. And you'll hear my clicky keyboard. Haha. Da, 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 da. So for those of you, wow, wanting to look up NaMoPyMo, that is NaMoPyMo. As I flail it around the screen. No! Why is it running away? It's better. I can like animate it by moving it. So now that I've figured out that I can do that live, that's fun. So NaMoPyMo is the National Model Painting Month. So check it out on Facebook. It is super supportive, super awesome. super good juju because we like our good juju in the hobby. You can paint in airbrush, hand painted acrylics, oils, pigments, whatever you want. Lots of options. So that's kind of fun. Off with his head. Yes, we have comments in the thing telling people what Nemopaimo is. Convenience of colors and tubes does make it better versus having to try and figure out how to mix. You can get charts like this one. This one shows, and it's acrylic. Wow. All the colors, and then all the colors, and then what happens when you mix like alizarin crimson with ultramarine blue. It's probably somewhere in here. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in here. You get like a purple color. So you can see it kind of neat to see kind of what you're getting with the colors. So those are all your different colors, and it'll vary a little bit by brand, but this gives you kind of so that's your dominant color, so whatever you're mixing the most of, and then when you mix it. I don't know if the mixes are 50-50. I would imagine they're fairly close, but it's kind of a handy tool if you're like, oh, I want a Palomino and I want it kind of starting here. Then I would mix my burnt sienna with my cadmium yellow light, and I would get that kind of tone. And you can start to see through here kind of what colors do to each other. Lynn had a really good point too about doing your own color wheel. So painting a color wheel and mixing your colors and kind of seeing what you get, because your own paints will have different working consistencies and slightly different colors depending on brand and other things, what you're doing. So it's always good to do that. So this is the Magic Palette branded color mixing guide. It does show you a little bit of information on the back on how to do all that. There are color wheels that kind of do the same. So this is the Quiller wheel, and it kind of shows you where all the colors lie as they go more red, as they go more blue, more green, more yellow, and you can kind of pick things out. So this is really handy for if you're adding in like a white. If you have a really, let's see, if you had like a really blue-gray and you added white, it would actually, like, you might get colors coming out of your paint you didn't realize. So a lot of people will see Payne's Gray, which is right here, and they're like, oh, I'll just mix white with that and it'll go lighter gray. Well, it does, but it's a blue-gray, so you actually get a lot of the bluer tones coming out of it, and that surprises people because they're like, whoa, I didn't know that there was blue, because it almost looks black. So this is really handy. It also will show you kind of if you wanted to complement. So, oh, it's going to be really hard to do if I can't see. Orange there complements with blue, so you can kind of see along those lines. If you had a blue, so like a Payne's Gray, having an orange type color somewhere in around there to complement it, because they're opposite on the color wheel, really works well. So that's what Lynn's doing with her Animar right now, is she has a blue, dark blue top line, and then she has some orange colors coming in through there and coppers, which really complement each other well. It should make the horse pop out. So that's kind of fun. And then you can get like little pocket color wheels and stuff, and it shows you your value scale, which is really good for contrast. Shows you all the different colors, the primary colors, intermediate colors, tints and shades, how all that works, warm colors, cool colors, color harmonies, so what colors go really well together, violet, so purple and yellow is really good, then your blue, green, and your red, orange, your blue and orange, your blue, violet, and your yellow, orange, green and red, and yellow, green, and violet, and then harmonies, these colors work really well too, and then split complementaries. Yeah. Shows you how they break out on the actual wheel. But super, super handy. This one's super cheap. You can pick it up on Amazon or at most art stores. It's just kind of a handy little, like, oh yeah, what colors go well together? And then it gives you spots on the back to mix your own little color matches, which is fun. I think that's all I got. Yeah, so that's kind of a basic overview of some of the fun paint stuff. Everybody's going to do their own thing. Maybe at some point I'll try and cover some stuff. I did do a shading and highlighting tutorial for BreyerFest a couple years back, and that was kind of fun. It showed, and I can't release it because it's Breyer's content. They own it now. So if you want to see it, you'll have to beg Breyer and send them an email and be like, hey, for BreyerFest, let us access that again. It was oil painting, but it doesn't really matter. It works for everything, and it shows you how to kind of make a medallion pop using shading and highlighting. So same kind of idea that you'd use on a big model. A little bit more dramatic on a medallion, but not by much. So that's kind of fun. Did we have any other questions? Namo Bimo. Cool. So yeah, that's a thing. I did get a sticker. I will show you a sticker. My dad sent me a sticker. It says February. The history of mankind is carried on the back of a horse. I should have done that in the overgrow voice. It would have been way more fun. A lovely, lovely, lovely bay or rolling pony. Quite cute. And she does hers on the, I believe that these are all water bottle safe and dishwasher safe. They're really nice quality. Vinyl. Waterproof. Good stuff. And then I did make a naked pony that I was meant to show you guys last week. And somebody else is doing it too, because you guys are awesome. And we need to customize things more. So this is the Rosalie ornament. Dun, da, da, da. Nakified! And missing a leg because this one had some molding problems. So its whole leg was just like a bundle of not working. So I'm going to customize this and make it into a pony. I might leave the roses because I like the roses. Make it stand, do its thing. I like how she's staring into your soul. Hello. Hello, Clarice. Oh, I missed some of the roses on her chest. But super fun. So you can take ornaments and strip them down and customize them too. And I highly suggest it. It's just a... You can kind of hear it. Kind of like a animal artistry style resin. So a little bit more ceramic-y feeling, but not ceramic. It's actually plastic. It's actually resin. So you can cut things off and move them in epoxy on top and shouldn't have any problems. The only time you really see problems with customizing stuff is if it's a plastic with a softener in it. So anything like that, you'll need to have a barrier of some sort, like matte spray or dull coat or latex primers, because their plastic has a softener in it and the softener affects things. So Darren's stickers are awesome. I enjoy it. Tips for sculpting medallions. So that's a fairly large question to try and cover in just a stream, but I tend to sculpt mine on top of either a ceramic tile or these melamine type plastic coated shelves and boards are really nice because you can put something on there and then peel it off as long as it's not epoxy straight on there. And then if I am doing some sort of epoxy, I will put the bee says hi and bye. I will put like tinfoil or something on it. Your biggest trick with sculpting on sculpting a medallion is trying to get the relief right. The relief is really challenging. So I would lay something out. If you're working for the first time, doing something in epoxy is going to be really hard. I would stick to Super Sculpey Firm or a Super Sculpey, which is what this is made out of, because I can keep working at it until I want to bake it. Or using oil-based clay like Monster Clay. There's also, you could do it out of pretty much whatever you want. And then playing around, if you were doing it for the first time, doing something in profile is a lot easier than any forward or 3/4 or any variation of those views. I would practice right from the side because it's going to be easier. There's the least amount of distortion. Because once you start getting into turning things, here's a good option. So he's almost straight from the side. And so it's a lot easier to kind of get all of your details in there. That's a Ceramink reflective by Boydston. And then this one's getting into be a little bit more of a turn, so there's a little bit more foreshortening going on. Once you start getting into, and this one's Cyclone by Kylie. Once you start getting into more turning or head on, if you don't want a spoiler, I'm going to show the Medallion Club medallion from last month. So look away for just a second while I make a point. Anything straight on is going to be harder to sculpt because you can see once you get onto the side, your relief gets crazy. And then you have to figure out how to make that look good, kinda, and that look good, kinda, and this look good. So, very challenging. So those are some tips. I would use something that doesn't set like epoxy does so that you can play with things a little bit. Some people will draw out their design first or print out a picture and then kind of cut it out. If you're doing any sort of clay or polymer clay, rolling it out into thin layers and then layering those to kind of get your 3D-ness works really well. I'll just squish things and slap it on there because that's how I work. But yeah, super fun. And then they're a lot easier to practice mold making on than a 3D sculpture. And there's also obviously digital. Digital's really hard for relief though, I find. So each their own. So yeah. Just bought some oil biscuit. Awesome. So that'll be something that you'll be able to play with. And a lot of times with oil-based clay too, like Monster Clay, you can sculpt something and then spray primer on it or a sealant to kind of solidify it, and sometimes even paint over top of it. It keeps it a little bit harder versus still having the soft gooey surface, so that's kind of fun. And use any of your solvents sparingly. So with oil-based clay, Goo Gone works really well, but it'll like dissolve your details, so be gentle with it and go slow. But yeah, that's kind of a primer on that. Hopefully I'd like to get these YouTube tutorials that are floating around in my head up, but there's a lot of stuff going on right now, so yeah. Yeah.
Recommended resin for casting medallions.
Smooth on 300 is what I would recommend. That's kind of the industry standard for the hobby for horses and medallions. It is easy to work with. They are a well-known supplier. You could use epoxy resins. They will cost you more. And you'll be able to, obviously, because epoxy resins are clear, you can put stuff into the castings, so people have fun with that. But they take way longer to set. They're more expensive, a little bit more finicky in some regards, whereas your smooth on, the Smooth Cast 300 will be 10 minute set time, so by about 7 minutes you can usually pull it out of the mold. It can be a little reactive to humidity, so if you have humidity, that might be a bit of a problem. Some people, depending on where they live, have to pressure cast them to get air bubbles out of them. And so it kind of depends on where you're at. Their Smooth On website and YouTube page have amazing selections for different tutorials and things to follow. So if you have any questions on mold making and casting, they have tons of information on there, and you'll have lots to peruse with your brain and see the different materials and see what works for you. You can dye the resin with their dyes. I believe people have dyed it with alcohol inks, but I wouldn't suggest it because any moisture that gets in there can cause problems with the resin, and then you get foaming resin and all sorts of crazy stuff. So, and that's never fun. Well, it's actually really fun, but you'll probably be really mad that you wasted resin that you can't use because it just foams up into this giant geyser of solid plastic. It's crazy. So yeah, a lot more finicky. If you are struggling with humidity problems, epoxy resin is a little bit easier because you don't have to worry about the humidity as much. It's a little bit more forgiving that way. Yes.
Thoughts on using a soldering iron for the wire armature?
You could do that. You can't solder aluminum. So if you're using an aluminum wire armature, you can't use solder. Not the normal solder. It requires a whole separate procedure. So you'd have to use stainless steel copper solders really well. So you could use copper for your armature, and then any kind of solder would work. That's probably your best bet. And copper would be fairly equivalent to your aluminum in bendability. Because this is aluminum, super bendable, easy to position, but not as strong. So if I wanted to make a traditional horse, its legs would just slump. But you get bigger gauge and it's a little bit more sturdy, so that could hold traditional as long as I'm starting to beef up the leg a little bit. And then I don't have copper handy. Oh, I do actually. Hello. Here's a little bit of copper. So you can see it's thinner, but it is still really bendy. That's aluminum too. Darn it. I'm going to show you. I don't have my stainless stuff, but stainless steel wire is really easy to get a hold of in a lot of places where you get picture hanging wire. So Home Depot in their picture hanging section works really well, or Lowe's or any sort of home improvement place. Michael's will probably charge you an arm and a leg, and any craft store will charge you more than a home improvement store, generally speaking, for something like that. So yeah, you can definitely solder onto it. I would suggest copper. You could try stainless. You can't do aluminum. So just keep that in mind if you're going to do that. Did we have any other questions? I'm going to have a sip of coffee. No questions. Cool. I can show you guys a peek if you'd like. I already kind of gave you some spoilers. So if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see, you're always welcome to pop it into the chat or send me an email for stuff for Pone-Fest. I will be doing more cards. And then I guess I can show you a thing. Dun, da, da, da. We're gonna do it. Wha-bam! Oh. Wha-bam! It's a boaty. Look at it. Wait. Look. Isn't it awesome? So that's a peek of the traditional sized performance friendly sculpture that I am working on currently. It is further along than it is in that picture now, but yeah, you get to see a little piece of it. So that's exciting, because I did say I was going to preview some things for Pone-Fest. I can't think of a... Just need to butt out. We've lost control of the chat. Oh my goodness. All the booty. It doesn't have a butthole yet, Teresa. Look. No butthole. See? I can't poke at it, so you can't see that. But yeah, no butthole yet. It has cheeks, but no butthole. So hopefully that's exciting. Like I said, both the sculptures I'm working on are fully original. The mini biter I need a biter break after biters are done. So we've decided to hang on to biter mini version for a little bit. I don't even have her scanned yet. And like I said, I might have to make some changes to make the mouth work in the smaller size. So yeah. Next donkey you knew. Name it Bud Donkey Donk. I love it. That's awesome, Amy. I do need to do long ears, like full sculpture long ears, because I had a lot of fun doing Ernie for the Medallion Club, and I love long ears, so that needs to be a thing. Like big butts do not lie. Me too. I have a quarter horse, so got a huggable butt, and I do hug it very often, and he's like, why are you touching my butt? Because I can wrap my whole self around his butt. It's awesome. So yeah. Nice piece of butt. What kind of stream am I on? We're showing things. So yeah, long ears, potentially in the future. Definitely that's on the list of things I want to do. My things showing stuff. So I think that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully have an amazing NaMoPyMo. Week number 1, I will be back next Sunday for more streamy fun. Hopefully I'll be posting more of these Feel Good Friday things. I keep missing Friday. I'm like, what day is it? Crap, it's Saturday already. But I do have some fun stuff I want to post and get all the good juju flowing, but it is NaMoPyMo month, so that means there's already good juju flowing everywhere. I would highly suggest, if you're on the fence of participating, that you jump in there and play. You do not have to finish your project. 90% of the times I've entered, I have not finished the project. It is fun to just play and learn, and everybody else is doing the same thing, so you can kind of break out of that. If you feel weird about it or insecure, it is the safest, most cozy, awesome place to be. I highly suggest it. You should go join. Now, do it. Click. If you haven't already, type on the thing. Go to NamoPymo on Facebook. Or just do your thing. But being in the group's even better, because then there's all the awesome people that can support you. And you learn lots of tips and tricks. If you have questions about customizing, it's a really easy time to do it, because everybody's asking questions. So, do it. All right, on that, it can be fixed.
We have one last question.
Yes.
Snuck in.
Yes.
Would you be able to show a video of you casting a biter or other model in resin to see the process?
Also a very long thing. Especially if you're rotocasting. So there's pressure casting and there's rotocasting. Pressure casting, you put the horse in a pressure pot and they're solid. Rotocasting, because I have a horse handy, you put the horse in the mold. You got to do some soft setting, which is setting some of the pieces that don't cast properly. A lot of times it's ears or little bits on the tail, or setting wires in the leg you have to soft cast, which basically just means in the mold, when it's open, you put a little bit of resin in it, you let it dry, you put the wires in, you put some more resin in there to lock the wires in so that they don't float. Otherwise, you'll have wires floating in your body. And then soft set, say, ears or nostrils, anything that doesn't want to cast properly or gets bubbles. And then this gets all put together, goes in a machine, the machine spins it, coats the outside, leaves the middle hollow. It comes out, you check it over, you're repairing things you need, you put a hole in it so it can breathe because it's hollow, and then you have a pony. And then solid casting, it would go in, you'd have sprues. So a lot of times they're cast like this, or sometimes they're cast like this, depending on the horse, or at different angles to let the air bubbles out. The mold goes in a pressure pot, and it's for smaller ones because the pressure pot would be really big for this, and that would be really heavy. And then it has a pour spout, pour the resin in. If you want to see kind of how that works, check out Maggie Bennett's page, Maggie Jenner Bennett's page. She has some photos of Fiotos. She has some Fiotos of her Venti, like all of her molds. There's a whole bunch of photos of, and then most recently her Venti stallions, the fighting Mustangs. And you can kind of see how she has a reservoir of resin at the top, which would be enough weight and pressure to push bubbles out, and you can kind of see where the sprues are. Jen and Tom Ulp, so on the Jolt Studios page, has a lot of photos of resin molds. Before you get too concerned about how you actually cast, you kind of have to learn how to actually mold, because that's the more complicated, harder to do part. So yeah, but maybe I'll do a video at some point. It's kind of a process, and a lot of times I try and wrangle my husband into doing it, so because he was doing it full time. So yeah, that's a thing that maybe I'll see if I can make a video of, because I think the process is really fun. I wish Breyer would do more of the behind the scenes stuff, so it's just the explaining tutorial end of things that is very challenging. But again, smooth on if you want to see kind of how the process of casting resins in general works. They have medallions on there. They don't call them medallions, but they call them a relief piece. And it shows you how that works for molding and casting, as well as some of their 3D pieces and rotocasting. But they do their rotocasting a little different than we do in the hobby. We're weird. We still use the same stuff you use for medallions for the rotocaster, whereas most rotocaster places use rotocasting resin. But they're also not doing complicated stuff like we're doing. It's a little more basic. So, anyway, yes.
One last question that also stuck me.
Yes.
For next medallion.
I'll have to post it to the Peaks page, because then I'm not ruining it for people here. It has lots of hair. Is that enough?
It's a shape.
It's a shape. It's freaking giant. It barely fits in the darn box. It's gonna take up the whole thing. I have to get bigger bags. It's ridiculous.
Nemesis all over again.
It's Nemesis all over again. So that's what you guys get. I'm going to run away. I also want to know how Breyer gets their molds glossy, because their gloss is delicious. All right, so on that note, I'm going to be doing a studio clean and potentially a studio purge coming up soon here. So if you're looking for some resins and medallions and OF Breyer, I might have some things that I'll post for sale at some point soon. Alrighty, I will see you later. My stomach is saying we require food before we pack 100 biters, and I will show you one more peek of the booty. Booty! And then I will see you later. Bye, guys.